The Vee Trades technical analysis course is now live. Learn to read the chart the right way to prevent costly mistakes. Click the link below to start training now. What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Ishares 20-year Treasury bond ETF with the ticker symbol TLT. This was a viewer's request, and thank you for your donation. If you want a chart analysis guaranteed to be done, please read the description below. Also, take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate it very much. This video is for entertainment purposes only, does not constitute any financial advice. I will first go over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So here we have the daily chart for TLT. Just a reminder that my course sale ends midnight tonight, so if you're interested, there's not a lot of time left. So let's take a look at the daily chart. Again, looks like it's been going down for quite a long time. Let's go over the more recent price action. So recently there was a pullback in the market. You can see there was a trend formation right over here, but the trend got weak and eventually it ended because we had a break of the pattern. A few legs up to a new high, a double top. Price had a hard time pushing through this resistance zone at the 120 level, and then you can see that aggressive sellers came back in the market to bring the prices down. So after that, we went inside of a trend. Looks like this is the trend that was holding prices, and now this one also is getting weak because we had a break of this pattern and a leg down right now. So we could see a pullback, one more pullback, maybe back up to the EMA at the 110 level. But I'd be still expecting a little bit of lower prices, possibly to the 104 level, because that's where the measured move target is. You can see this is a leg down right here, and if I move this up to the top of the correction, it's right at the 104 level. So I'd be expecting that in the short term, even if we do see a pullback, because we could find resistance around that 110, 112 level. Let me show you guys another pattern right here. So it looks like prices were going sideways, but with a bearish bias. You can see the prices were going sideways here, but we broke out a few times. Maybe the range is a little bit larger. This is definitely a possibility. So if this is the range pattern, then we should be seeing a bounce fairly soon, back up to the top side or even the midline and then the top side, because this short-term trend line is played out and we could see a pullback. So again, we could start just flatlining, because overall you can see that if I zoom out, looks like this trend is over too. So if I connect the swings and I drag this down, you can see that prices did have a break outside of this pattern and a move to a new low, which signifies the trend could be over. So we came up short over here, had a breakout on this side, and then we went down to retest the prior low. That's what you see all the time. And you can see that this recent low right here is lower than the previous one. So this could be the end of the trend, downtrend, and we could just start going sideways. So as right now, would I go long on the bottom of this range? Definitely not, because I think it's high risk to be taken along right now, especially because it's like the bottom of the trend. Even though there are signs that the trend is ending, and you're not really picking a bottom if there are any signs that the trend is ending, but it's just aggressive to be going long right now. You want to be waiting on confirmation of an uptrend. As right now, you kind of getting at the start of an uptrend, not the confirmation. This is like the confirmation right over here. So basically, been going down for quite a long time. We could continue down much further, and I'll show you guys the reasons why on the weekly chart. But as right now, on the short term, it looks like we could see a bounce up back up to that EMA at the 110, 111 level. But if we find any resistance, we're going to come back down and maybe even break this level, 108 level, to reach the 104 level. Now, if you don't find any resistance and we see the same type of move up in the past, then we can push through that EMA, pull back, find some type of support, push through the midline, pull back, and then push through to the top of the range. And then maybe then we break it, but even then this is still a resistance zone, so we could see lower prices. So it's just, we just have to go by how prices react around the levels. As of right now, the level we are at is support, but it's not a strong one, so we could just break it and go to the 104 level. But I'm not going to assume that, because we can also go up to the top of the range. So that's all I have on the daily chart. Let's go and wrap it up on the weekly chart. And here we have the weekly chart for TLT. You can see that we made two large legs down. I'll show you guys that right now with the arrow. So we made one leg down that's very large, and then we saw a two-legged correction in between, and that marks the center of the pattern. And if I move this leg down, you can see the same leg. We pretty much made the same distance as the previous leg. This is called a measured move, and it's no wonder why we're starting to find some type of support here, or like a double bottom. So if this is actually a double bottom, this could be the bottom of the trend and we could see higher prices. But again, like I said before, going long right now is very aggressive because it's not confirmed and you could get yourself trapped. Let me zoom out a little bit more. So this is the entire price action since 2002. I can see all the traders and what they did for pretty much the past 20 years. So you can see that overall the market tends to go up over time with this channel. I'll show you guys that right now. Something like this. So it looks like this was the channel that was holding prices fairly nicely. And now, just a few years ago, there was an overshoot of this yellow channel. You can see this was a blow off top, or like a bubble. Definitely bonds were in a bubble. I remember someone saying that. So you can see definitely on the chart too that it's a bubble, because we broke up the pattern and this was pretty much like a climax point. Ever since then, we made two large legs down. So after two large legs, we could see prices reverse, retest these highs. But sometimes also, since we had a blow off top, it could be the actual top and we could go back down to much lower prices, maybe the $80 level or the $100 level. So right now, since we just finished the measure move, we could see a big bounce or some sideways price action. It looks like prices could come back down to, I believe, right around this $100 level if we don't find any support at the 108 level. And then maybe even there's a lot of support at this $90 level. So again, just got to go by what the prices do at levels. If we break the levels and continue lower, then these are the targets I'll be looking for: the $100 level and that $88 level. Let me show you guys a chart that can foreshadow what this stock can do. So let's look at BABA real quick. So this is the chart for BABA, and I already drew it out for you guys, where you have this channel working higher. Let's go and make it yellow so you can see the resemblance. So you can see that prices were working higher in this uptrend channel, and then you can see there was a break of it. There was an overshoot because the highs, prices were respecting the highs of the channel right over here. So I don't want to really move it up to right there, because it looks like there was a lot of touches right there. And it definitely makes sense, because after that top, prices crashed. That was pretty much the top, and we retraced quite a lot down, pretty much all the way back down to the all-time lows. As of right now, this is a 77% drop to the lows of this trend. So sometimes when you have an overshoot like this, we just go back down a lot. Now let's go back to the chart and you'll see the resemblance. Let me zoom on the chart. So what do you guys think? It looks very similar. We had an uptrend, overshoot, and prices to retrace that 77%, I mean, would be very, very low. It has, the lows, it would go past the lows. So I'm not sure if we're gonna do that, but as right now, in my opinion, if I was gonna go long on this stock or ETF, I would have to wait for confirmation of an uptrend, which means we get back above the EMA. So you won't get the bottom of the correction, but you at least get in at a more confident area, which is above the EMA. So same thing right here. You want to get above the EMA when prices start to go up. Same thing right here. So any of these entry points would be pretty good after the correction is over. So we got back above the EMA, got back above the EMA here, got back above the EMA, and you're still going to be in a good amount of profit. Now the correction does seem to be over here. We have two legs back, and now prices need to get above that weekly EMA. As right now, we're still very far below it. So once we get above it and we start bouncing from it, that would be a pretty good entry to come back up to these higher levels. So as right now, we could just start going lower. That's what I'm saying. I think I wouldn't go long, and I do see lower prices for bonds, and those are my targets that I outlined. First one at the $100 level, and then we can see prices back down to the 88, and if prices break that, we're pretty much going to go back down to the all-time lows at the 81. So just what we do at the levels. Now if we just break through this EMA and find some type of support, then that two legs was enough, and we could see two more large legs to the upside. So again, that's all I see for TLT. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel since you might be surprised at what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time and bye.